Morning, everyone. When I started thinking about this economic plan that I was working on, I was trying to find a way to be able to isolate out the issues that we deal with and the issues that businesses deal with. And so I started thinking that that was kind of more like a dual economy that we were dealing in. And so that's when I started thinking maybe we needed a dual currency to be able to solve our problem. And then I got looking at it and I was like, wow, this actually could be a thing that would work. So what I ended up doing was coming up with a way to be able to separate out production currency from human capital currency. And so I've called these things right now PC for production currency and HCC for human capital currency. And I also was thinking that I needed a way to be able to address for when people come into the United States, if we're going to have a dual currency in which we're isolating out human capital from production currency. And so that's when I came up with the traveler's credit that would stake things on a goods-to-goods basis rather than using Forex. And it would be valuing the money that was coming in on a parity adjustment. And then this would be making it so it's a good goods-to-goods comparison. And it would be backed by the origin country's dollar or currency that would be held and staked against the traveler's credit. So in that way, when a person came in, they wouldn't even have any currency, they would have a credit line, and the credit line would be used for transactions at a local sale. Then that way, when they go back to the other country, go back to wherever they originated from, or even us when we were traveling, we would go through this administration that I've created to be able to handle this processing. Again, evaluating it back on a parity basis on the goods-to-goods exchange at that rate at that time to be able to transition from the credit line back to their origin currency. And additionally, this would also work for businesses. Businesses would operate on production currency, and for business-to-business transaction, that's the way that they would transact. And there would be a threshold in which this would happen. Smaller businesses would still operate using human capital currency, but larger scaled businesses would just operate using production currency. And then if they needed to transfer money, then they would go through this agency that would handle the changing of currency over, just like we use Forex now, but in a different way. So these were some of the thoughts that I had going on when I was creating this plan, some of the struggles in our current economy that I tried to address. And it's a pretty big plan. Like the plan's over 500 pages worth of content just to have as a white paper. But it's also built in through an AI, essentially like it's a thread that's fully well developed out. So that way now you can query it and kind of get the AI's intake as well from it. And what I would like to see is to have this PDF file that's been created out of this AI thread taken out and then created in a website or in another thread that's accessible by everyone to be able to start querying it against and kind of like open source it. So that's actually why I use Grok AI. There's some connotations being linked to Musk right now and all of that, but the reason why I used Grok was thinking back to Musk in his origin days of wanting things to be open source. So thinking back to, I guess, origin world of Elon Musk rather than where things are at in his view, the way that people view him right now. So again, thinking back to origin world of Elon Musk, that's why I went with Grok. And it's been useful in helping me develop and thresh out these ideas that I have and helping me think of potential problems that could arise from them and then problem solving them. That's one of my biggest strengths for me is I like being a visionary and problem solving situations. I've owned and operated a few businesses myself, have a business administration and accounting degree, and so pretty well versed in these things, read a lot of economic theories over the course of my career and my degree, and it's kind of led me to here. Additionally, I was a fan of Andrew Yang when he was running for president, as a lot of the things that he was talking about were things that I had envisioned myself, and they've kind of pushed me forward to be able to develop the plan that I came up with. And so there's sentiment that agrees with Yang, there's sentiment that agrees with just general universal basic income, but then there's twists to it and elements that's tied to keep it so that we still have a capitalist structure. It ties in a little bit of socialism, as that it returns some of the value of society, the means of production, back to the people. But rather than it being that people are just physically in control of them, businesses would still be in control of themselves. But now human capital, us, are investors in business. And so we actually have a stake in how well business and production does. And so we would have to alter the way GDP is measured to be able to calculate using the contributions that we already make to society that aren't really valued. They're valued a little, but they could be valued differently. And that's through changing the way that we use GDP measurements. And so that would be through like parenting, volunteering, working in the arts. My plans kind of tackled a lot of that stuff, and it's definitely something that I'd like to get out there into the discussion, and hoping that I can find some collaborators along the line, and maybe even a bigger voice in this platform of social media. I'm just starting out, but I'm much more of a visionary, behind the scenes, think and problem solve type of person. But I'm stepping out of my comfort zone in order to be on here and hopefully promote what I've got going on. And so I'd appreciate any follows, donations, which would be helpful for me to be able to grow this content, be able to work further on my plan. Right now it's kind of like what I'm doing, so I would appreciate some sort of, economic value to what it is that I'm working on. So means of income would be definitely appreciated. And then anything I can do to grow this platform, getting additional, technology tools to be able to help the way that it's presented, and to be able to, advertise it more, and just work on getting it across to more people. Maybe I'll need to travel in order to be able to go talk to people, do interviews, these types of things. So if I had donations, then that would definitely help me be able to grow this. So I appreciate any support, shares, follows, recommendations on what we can do to get this out there. I would definitely like to share the bigger, broader plan with people that can take a look at it and that can grow it. It's kind of a big package, and so I'll share bits of it here along the way, but I also at some point in time do need to try and make a living off it at the same time as I put a lot of effort into it. So I would appreciate any help that you can do in this matter, and make some more content, and we'll just keep pushing ahead. Appreciate y'all. Thanks.